Okay, let's talk about it. Starting over in your 40s and 50s is not for the faint of heart, okay? And when I say it's not for the faint of heart, I mean just that, okay? A lot of people, by the time they hit 40s, 50s, everything's already stable. Life is already situated for them. They have already, gotten possibly their house paid for. They're possibly in their dream home. Everything is already lining up and you are good. Your savings is on point. You're living where you want to live. You don't think about, what it's going to be like to completely start over because you don't have to, right? But let me tell you, I know what it's like to start over in your 40s and soon to be 50s. And let me tell you, it's never too late. You're never too old. Life starts when you push that go button again, okay? You can push the reset, the go button anytime you choose, okay? I didn't ever think I was ever going to get married, I just really didn't. My parents were together for years until my dad passed away, almost 50 years. So, imagine that. They were together for quite a while. Um, I never was attractive enough or even felt that I was attractive enough to pull anyone that would even love me for me. My entire life of dating and situationships, I'm not even going to say relationships, consisted of, they were all one-sided. I was the giver and the other person that guy was with was always the recipient, so um, literally just having low self-esteem and low self-worth and value. I allowed myself to be in situations that were not conducive for, a great life. So literally I robbed myself, but I don't hold that against myself. But what I would tell my younger self is, love yourself. Don't settle. I don't care if somebody thinks, oh, you're too fat, you're too this, you're that, that was my issue. I really didn't think that I was worthy. I just never did. So you are going to attract, those types. So you just have to be careful about how you feel about yourself, get your self-esteem, get your confidence up. And it's been a lifelong journey for me, let me tell you. I'll be almost 50. Like I said, I didn't ever think I would get married. My husband is 10 years older. I'm his second wife. He's been married once. I've never been married. Just got married, 4 years ago? You know, never thought it was for me, but let me tell you, I did never think I would start my own business. I would be an entrepreneur either. I was always a 9 to 5 person, but I never really enjoyed the 9 to 5. It was always a drag getting up, um, being somewhere at a certain time, not being able to take off when you want to, not being able to, make your own schedule. That was what was missing from my life, the freedom. So a lot of things came about in my life in my latter years, So let me tell you, it is possible. Love, happiness, joy, freedom, all the things are possible. I took a few notes here, but yeah, I would say what you want to do is just start to love yourself. When you start loving yourself, embracing yourself, I may not ever be a thin person, obviously, unless I sign up for some surgeries and do the drugs and all that stuff. Possibly I can get super skinny, but obviously I know I got my dad's head, so I don't really want to get down to a size 4 or 6. I'll be happy at maybe a tight 10 or 12. I'll be cool there. But mainly I am caring more about my health. And I do realize that, my goal weighted things are going to happen because I am conscious of my health. I do make health and fitness a priority. That is a part of wellness. So taking care of yourself um, is more than, it's a whole thing. You're looking at your financial wealth, your spiritual wealth, your mental wealth, your social. You want to make sure you have support people around you because while you're, in your waiting mode, you're living life. So you're not even thinking that, hey, this person's going to come along every second of the day. You're going to be living your life, and everything's going to be flowing, and it will happen the way it's supposed to. Now, um, how I got into real estate, I never did think I would, like I said, leave a 9 to 5, even though for years, I never cared for it. My last place, I was in healthcare revenue cycle for 16 years or so. So did I think I was going to retire at that? Honestly, I never saw myself retiring from a job, but during the whole, pandemic thing, I was online, and my dad has just passed away. And prior to, he was sick, and just all the things, I had relocated to Arizona, my dream state, and was scrolling online, literally scrolling online. And I don't know how it came about, but oh, get your real estate license. So after college and all that stuff, what do you know, I end up getting into real estate. So were college degrees a waste? I don't say they were a waste, because the experiences that I had, did yield me lots of good friendships, connections, and experience that I probably wouldn't have gained otherwise. Okay, so do I say anything is ever a waste? Working a job, going to college, none of that is ever a waste. However, just be ready to embrace the next moment, if you get the opportunity. So if you get the opportunity to start your own business, sometimes you have a dream, but then sometimes, it may not even be a dream. Just, being honest with you, you just want to take a chance and a risk. So I just knew what I didn't want, and that just propelled me into going for my own business. So as a result of getting my real estate license, what do I do now? Okay. So I moved somewhere I don't know anyone. So you want to start to build your sphere of influence. So you start talking to people. You go to networking events. You pay the vendor fees. You set up your booth. You start to, attend different brunches, and just to get in rooms and whatnot with places and people. So yeah, starting over, doing all the things, it can be, interesting and challenging trying to make friends, especially professional relationships as an older person in your 40s and 50s, because everybody's on their computer. Everybody's in all the groups. You're in all the apps and the networking and all that stuff online. But if you're the type of person that wants to make in-person connections, I feel like nothing can replace that. Nothing replaces your in-person one-on-one connection. Okay. So when you're given the opportunity, try to get out there and do the networking. So when you do during the networking, you'd be surprised who you're going to meet. If you're single, you may meet someone, for you. And if you're looking for business relationships, partners, and people you can learn from and grow from, mentors, you still want to put yourself out there. Okay. Now, I will go back to the relationship part. Okay. So I opened my heart up after, being used and misused all the years. Um, and I allow myself to be loved properly. So allow yourself to be loved properly. And this whole having a type thing and all of that, my husband's skinny and tall, so he, likes the meaty women, which I don't know if he really likes, if he even has a type, because the women he's been with have been all sizes. So I really, I think his daughter's mother is like super thin. So, I would say the older you get, a lot of times you go by the heart, how people treat you, how they make you feel. When you instantly meet that person, sometimes you will know. So, I mean, for me, that love at first sight thing, I know it does exist, but for us, it was more of a friendship that we built and formed, and we got a chance to know each other. I had went through some medical, some surgeries, and he was there for me and very supportive, took his lunch break, checked on me every day, and letting physical therapy in and all that stuff. So that kind of stuff is really, attractive to me. Someone that, has a beautiful heart, a beautiful spirit and soul, and, someone who cares genuinely about me, and my whole welfare. So not just financially, but the whole person. So honestly, I was able to heal from surgeries. I had both knee surgeries, and back to back. And as a young person, a lot of people don't have those surgeries when they're young. They have them when they're older. So yeah, right. So they had to be done, but I've wanted a better quality of life. So that's a whole nother thing there. I want to do a video on that if anyone's interested in talking about recovering from surgery, specifically joint replacement surgery. So yeah, so I was able to get my knees done now, completely starting over. And it feels great living in my dream state with my dream mate, and I'm in real estate. So, but back to the support, okay? Sometimes when you say you want to make that move, people, it just happens out of nowhere. I know my family didn't believe it. My family was like, okay, you keep talking about it, you keep talking about it, so they really didn't believe it because I had lived in the Midwest for 22 years or more, give or take. So people, when you've done something for so long, don't even try to convince people. Let me tell you, just be a doer, okay? Once they see you making the moves, then, they're going to believe you. But I will say, make sure you get people around you, cheerleaders that's going to boost you and rock for you and hype you up and let you know you got this. How can I help you? Those are the people that you want in your network, and they don't always have to be family. So we need to make sure that we're seeking out the people that are going to be there for us. And obviously you want to make sure that you're reciprocating. You don't always want to be the taker. You want to make sure that you're giving what you expect to receive when it comes to friendships, relationships, and all the things. Okay. I would say go all in. Okay. Yeah. Go all in. What I mean by that is, when you're ready to make that move, don't stop. Don't go backwards. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. Don't say, I'm going to wait until this. I'm going to wait until I can do that. I'm going to wait until I have enough money saved. Let me tell you, I get people contacting me today that's relocating to Arizona, and they don't always have all their ducks in a row. Sometimes they're buying or renting. I also help people rent as well. Obviously, to rent, you want to make sure there's certain criteria that the properties look out for. Renting is a lot more competitive because multiple people are going for that same house. Apartments a bit different because, you can hold that apartment and get it, locked in pretty fast. Now, if you want to buy a home right now, I will say, if you have the money right now, don't wait, come out here to Arizona and check out the weather. Right now we hitting the 80s every day. I've got some friends coming out here. They're considering their second home out here, and we're going to go shopping around with them. They're coming out here in a couple weeks. And let me tell you, there's lots of beautiful places here in Arizona, but make sure that you can take a visit first. But there's people that do come here sight unseen, and they lock down, what they're looking for is sight unseen. But, that's not for everybody. A lot of people want to see what they're getting before they get out here. But it all just depends on your personality and then what you require and, all the things, what you like and, how you go about things, so you want to make sure that you reach out to your trusty realtor. I'm Pamela Scott, your AZ Relo plug with Prestige Realty, and I would love to help you with your home goals out here in Arizona. Okay. Now, let's talk about basically, what is that? Starting over again at 40s and 50s. Should you fall in love again? Should you let yourself be loved again? You don't think you're worthy of love? You don't think you have a lot of love to give? Let me tell you, I know you do, because I have a lot of love to give. And I know that I have a lot of life to live, and I didn't want to necessarily live it alone. Okay. So what I mean by that is, yes, I know we're all going to die alone. We're all going to leave here alone. However, I did want to know and experience what it would be like to be with someone who, cared for me and, someone that I can care for back as well. a lot of people say, well, I don't want to get married because I don't want nobody checking in on me, and I don't want to be checking in on nobody else. And I will say this, it is a beautiful thing. It's nice to know if your partner, your person hasn't walked in that door by 5, 6, that somebody out there is worried about you. If you haven't walked in that door, that somebody's thinking about you. If, you don't want to cook, sometimes, there's men that do all the cooking. In my case, I do majority of the cooking. So, a lot of times I'm messaging my husband, hey, babe, what are you thinking about dinner for today? Oh, I think I want meatloaf or this or that. Sometimes I know he's in the mood for certain things. And sometimes I just fix what I want to fix, which usually he eats just whatever. But, he's really easygoing, but he's a meat person. He's got to have the meat. Okay. So I know as long as there's meat on the menu, he's happy, so yeah. But I will say, check out my locks. But I will say that you're never too old. It's never too late. This year, I've got a couple ebooks on Amazon right now, but I did get a chance to drop a contribution to a book. So I'm a contributing author. So I'll be dropping that link if anybody's interested soon. As soon as I get the link, I got to be a contributing author, kicking off the 2025. Okay. So, I know there's all types of things going on in the world, but, as long as you try to make a difference in your corner, in your part of the world, we can all make this place better. We can all make it better just by doing your little part. Used to be a time when people would say, okay, if you clean off your porch, you pick up the trash around your block, around your, your front, the front of your house, you pick up everything off your doorstep, then, everybody else, will see you, and then they will follow suit. Okay. That used to be how it used to be, because I remember, I once had a neighbor, every time he saw him and his wife saw us doing something in the yard, was putting out, whether it's putting out solar lights or doing something to the grass or something, of flowers, he would be out there making changes and doing stuff, to the yard. So yeah, those things were, hilarious. And I used to think, God, you're copying off of me. What is he doing? They're changing out there. Oh, they get multicolored lights like us or this or that. But, at the end of the day, I don't really care. But used to be a time when, people used to feel bad about not keeping their, doorstep, their porch, their yards kept, because, everybody else was keeping theirs up. So that shows you how, the world has gotten, over time, how things have ended up here. So, but yeah, I got a couple more minutes. I'm going to shut this down pretty soon. But yeah, anybody looking to relocate to Arizona, I am your AZ Relo plug. Yes. So if you're looking to come out here, your AZ Relo plug is in process of being trademarked right now. So I cannot wait to hear from you. You can reach out to me at 480-251-3174. I am your AZ Relo plug. So how I got that name for my business is what people kept saying, well, you're the plug, then you're like the relocation plug. So I just decided to break it down into Relo plug. Now, last year it took off pretty busy for me. I got a chance to meet some amazing CEOs in this group called the Whole CEO. And let me tell you, those sisters are powerful. Okay. And the bond is beautiful. I'm also in the exclusive elites here in Arizona. So, yeah, getting in those networks, getting people who are going to vouch for you and be in your corner, and also refer you, your business out. So that actually will help you, because believe it or not, most businesses will always operate, all businesses will always operate by word of mouth. Okay. Word of mouth is not going anywhere. People will still speak good on your name, or even bad on your name, if you are not delivering, if you're not who you proclaim to be. So that's why it's so important that when you show up, that you're showing up as the same person that you are day in and day out, you know, you're the same person behind closed doors as when you go out, because that is going to be exposed who you really are at some point, okay? So, but yeah, starting over in your 40s and 50s, I don't have any complaints at this point. I will say it's challenging, but there's no reason to be afraid of aging. Let me tell you, it's a privilege that is denied to many. Aging is a privilege that is denied to many. So many people wanted to wake up. So many of my classmates wanted to see 40, 45, and soon to be 50. They didn't get a chance to see it. So every day is a gift. And I just want to be the gift that keeps on giving, because I have so much to give, so much inspiration, so much positivity to offer this world, because, you know, it needs it. Okay. So I cannot wait to hear from you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and be blessed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Be blessed.